Hello and welcome to the 21st episode of Chain World and the first of 2016. So yes, that is right. We are both hitting the phenomenal 7 times 3 episode, which as we all know is a major landmark. And we're doing our first episode in 2016. So Chain World is an awesome series in which we play Dungeon World with awesome players and awesome people, and awesome things happen. We have awesome adventures, and so far we've been using it to tell this ongoing story that we love and have crazy stuff happen and have other people come on and be guest players and guest GMs and show off a lot of the really cool things you can do with Dungeon World when you play it in different ways and bring in different mentalities and whatnot. We're now moving into the end game. So I'm flagging this up front to say that we're going to be keeping things tight to the core Chain World group for the next several episodes until we hit the ending, starting with this episode and moving on. So I will be GMing this episode, and over the next several episodes, each other member of the Owlbear Scourge will be taking over and GMing the game at some point. So if you've been following us this far, please stay tuned for that because it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for that. Okay. Well, that said, I will give the customary warning. Again, if you're watching episode 21 and this is your first episode, I don't know why you're watching episode 21. And if you've watched any of the other episodes, you know what I'm about to say. But this will be rated R, NC-17, triple X, Vin Diesel for violence, gore, sex, whatever else, cursing. We don't hold back. We're not going to hold back. We are not going to restrain ourselves. If you're familiar with the comic book Rat Queens, that is very much the inspiration for the level we're at. So be aware. It could be anything in that vein. Also, this event is an Indie Plus event, so it will be in accordance with the Indie Plus community standards. If you'd like to know what those are, please go to indieplus.org. With that all out of the way, I am Brendan Conway, and I will be the GM for tonight, as I said. And for tonight, I've chosen my title as Happy Dance Master. So please, if you would refer to me as the Happy Dance Master, I will also take Mr. Happy Dance, or perhaps Master HP. I'll take that. So please, there is a cat. Jen is holding up a cat, and that is my avatar as the Happy Dance Master. All right, and now our Owlbear Scourge. Andrea, would you introduce yourself and your character?
Sure. I'm Andrea. That's me. I am playing Etheldreda de Graves, who used to be a paladin and is no longer a paladin. Most recently broke her 3rd weapon and has a broken leg.
The most critical personality traits.
All of them.
No, I love it. Jen. Oh no, Jen showed a cat and then froze. Oh man, I feel like, I don't know, there's some sort of thing in there that I'm not clear enough to see.
I'm Jen Martin. I'm playing Andromeda the Star Mage. Oh.
Well, the technology has betrayed us. It wouldn't be Chain World if... while we figure out if Jen is still here. Misha, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Misha. I am playing Aliana. She's an elven bard. It's usually her job to make these people look good. Lately, it's been her job to try to keep them from doing really silly things, like, hey, maybe you should fall off too late. But I do what I can.
You try, and really that's all that can be asked.
Yeah.
With these people. Jen, are you back? Are you with us?
I think so. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You're just fairly
No.
delayed. But go ahead if you want to introduce yourself.
Can you hear me?
Well, Jen dropped out and she will be back. Sarah!
I am Sarah Richardson. I play our barbarian Shishina, who has an incredibly subtle view on the intricacies of politics and social norms and behavioral standards.
She's about to finish her 3rd book, I believe, as a philosophical treatise, right?
If by finish you mean slowly pull out the pages and use them to inspire sex positions with the priest in his church, then maybe.
I don't even.
Yes.
I don't even. I can't even.
In the past, I've beaten someone to death with their own arm. I've taken kneecaps, various other trophies, but you know, all in good fun.
And trying again, Jen, are you with us here?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yay! This is what I get for having like a 6-person hangout yesterday and it going totally fine. Of course, it's gonna go bad tonight. Did I?
Okay. Jen is going to reboot her computer. Yay for computers. I will quickly just say then that Jen plays Andromeda, who is the blue-haired star mage of the group, who has a tendency to create portals that have a tendency to cause undue amounts of problems, and is accruing more and more objects that speak to her. This is a rather alarming trend. All right, so here is a quick recap of where we left things when last we left the Owlbear Scourge, this group of mercenaries, ostensibly whose job it is to kill owlbears. Kind of outside of their normal depth, I guess, or maybe not at all, considering what's going on. The city is under attack of some kind, but it seems like people are within the city. Mercenaries of myriad sorts, many of them very highly trained and very deadly and dangerous. They have been attempting to foster and conduct a ritual throughout the city, especially with the fervent idealist believers who have been paying them. And the ritual summoned a pillar beneath the granary in the city, and it has risen up above the city now, towering above it. There is a man on top who is singing a song that appears to be calling power down into this pillar for some purpose, presumably related to the legends that the Scourge has been picking up of the star and the fire being at eternal war in some kind of natural cycle kind of thing. A friend of Aliana's has been trying to convince her to leave the city, saying that it's doomed and this is the right thing to do. The idealists truly fervently believe that this is the right thing to do, while the mercenaries are just doing it for the money. And the other important side notes include Shashina broke her leg, Graves valiantly healed it and took that pain onto herself. And I believe the character I normally play, Charfiend, who's a salamander and was the boyfriend of Andromeda, has now lost his memory of having killed her, which thus led to the relationship forming in the first place. So we are left with a situation in which Shashina, Graves, Aliana, and Charfiend, along with that friend of Aliana's chair, who is attempting to convince her to leave the city, are all down on the ground beneath the pillar. Atop the pillar still stands this singing man who is casting some sort of ritual, and Andromeda, I believe we said, is still up atop the pillar. She got there with her gravity powers, and she has not departed it. Andromeda also currently holds a book that is talking to her and appears to be connected with her people and the whole star entity thing. So, down on the ground. When last we left it, Shashina had determined that she would go and attempt to kill the man singing atop the pillar, and then she would go and murder everybody in the center of town who are apparently more mercenaries causing havoc in the city. Yeah. Cher is grabbing Aliana and really trying to push her to get away. The rest of you are staring at the top of the pillar, maybe trying to figure out how to get up there. And that's around the time that you start seeing lines of power crackling from the top of the pillar, like spider webbing around its cylindrical outsides. Moving slowly towards the ground from the very top. What do you do?
How did people get up there last time? Just a quick check. Because people got up there. I don't remember how, though.
Andromeda has gravity
Yeah.
powers.
Yeah, I think Andromeda
Yes.
took you up with gravity. Took Shishina up with her gravity powers.
Okay. All right.
Yep, that is what happened.
Okay.
So yeah, I am going to try to disrupt this song because music is what I can do. I am that music type person. Yeah.
That music person type person.
Hey.
What are you using to disrupt the song? How are you doing it?
Hold on. I'm trying to find the second page properly. One moment, system processing. There it is. Okay. I am going to use Vicious Blast. I'm basically going to try to knock the canter out, or stop him from.
Is that Vicious Blast? Vicious Blast is
No,
when you grant bonus damage with Arcane Art.
Yeah. Wait. Actually, the one I was thinking was an Ear for Magic. When the enemy is casting a spell, the GM will tell me the name of the spell and its effects, and then I can act on the answers with that.
Totally. So I think you used this last time too. So I'll go ahead and I'll like sort of build on the same thing. You know this information, you'd still get the +1, and yeah, I mean absolutely the move still applies. So the spell he's casting is a summoning up of deep power within and beneath the city. You sort of hear it as catastrophe is the spell he's casting, right? And it's to pull down these tracers into the city and pull up dangerous, destructive power that's going to start erupting around the city and is going to demolish it.
So then to stop that. I'm going to think for a moment while somebody else figures out what they're doing.
Sure. If somebody wants to discern realities, right, that would be a great way to figure out if you wanted to get back up top. But those tracers of energy are spidering down the pillar's sides towards the ground. They're increasing in speed as they come.
Wisdom is not my strong point, so I would suggest someone else discern realities.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. That means you should do it.
Or perhaps a wiser friend.
Though. Yeah. I feel like Andromeda is usually the one to discern things because that involves thinky.
Yeah, but I'm already on the thing.
I know.
So I can't really help you right now.
That's a fail, shockingly.
Okay, so you get your experience point.
Yay!
Isn't that joyful? Okay. Yeah. So, Graves, you're staring at the pillar and you're trying to figure out, like, are you looking for a way up, or what are you looking for in particular? Okay.
Yep, way up.
You're looking for, like, a way to get up. When those tracers of energy hit the ground and they start spreading out into the ground, and you can watch this, like, web of lines crawling across the ground from the pillar's base. And as one of them runs under your foot, like none of the rest of you feel a weird heat when they come closer, but it's not like painful, it's not dangerous. It's just an odd heat. But Graves, when it passes under your feet, there's this weird thing, and you feel them actually start crawling up into you. And the next second, you sort of blank out. Everybody looking at Graves sees her eyes, like her pupils, her irises, they disappear. Her eyes are just completely white. And Graves, inside your mind, you are just in this empty space, and surrounding you is clouds with the gigantic burning light right in front of you.
Okay.
A voice booms out from the booming light, and it says, "This one appears prepared for us."
Who are you?
We are your god.
I've met my god. You are not my god.
Your god is the fire. We are the fire.
I would like to stab the light.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're there and you're still wearing your armor. You're still wearing exactly what you were wearing before. If you wanna punch it, I mean, do you have a knife? Like, I can see you pulling it off and just stabbing at the. That's totally fair. Do you wanna? Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you pull out a knife and you stab it, and as you do, the heat of the light sears your hand, and you watch as the armor melts off of you, your skin melts off of you, your bones turn to black and crumble. And then when you pull your arm back, it's perfectly fine. We are your god.
We'll see about that. She's just gonna charge in because she's not a very bright panda.
Something very similar happens. When you charge in, and it's almost like you can feel your body burning away to nothing, and then you just reappear right exactly where you stood before. You will choose to take us into your body, or we will take the other host. You have been prepared. We would prefer you.
What other host?
The flame, a gout of flame emerges from it and forms into Charfiend, like a burning image of Charfiend right in front of you.
You will not touch him.
Then you will take us into your body.
I'd rather die.
Then we will take the other host.
What is Charfiend doing? Is he still eating his honey?
So I want to be clear here. You, like everybody else, is watching Graves essentially in, like, she's standing stock still. She's not moving. Her eyes are completely white. She's clearly in some kind of trance. Like Graves, I mean, you can choose because you know Graves' ability to actually figure things out better than any of us. But I feel like there's a completely fair chance that, you're aware you're inside your own head. Or you're not, like, in reality. You're not in a real physical place in any meaningful way.
Right.
So Charfiend's not actually there in front of you. You have no view of what the rest of them are doing. All you can see is they're showing you Charfiend to show you what the other host is.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If you want time to consider, I can move away to someone else.
Yes, please.
Cool. All right. So I'm actually, if it's okay, and I'm really hoping it's working. So I want to go to Andromeda on top of the pillar quickly. So Andromeda, you are on top of the pillar, right? And when all of these tracers of energy and power started crawling across the top of the pillar, as soon as that happened, it was his singing, right? It was the cantor singing, calling up these powers. As soon as they crossed under your feet, two things happened in rapid succession. The thing around your throat, it immediately started buzzing uncomfortably, and it got very cold. And the book in your arm began to grow warm and glow. Are you still with us, Jen? Damn it.
Oh!
And
Cursed technology.
We will be left forever in suspense. Unending. A cursed technology indeed. All right, well, I hope Jen gets back to us. So in the meantime, I'm going to cut away to the two of you, Aliana and Shishina, on the ground. Graves is now, totally stock still, clearly in this trance. The tracers of energy are crawling under your feet and across the city beneath you. What you doing? I mean, Aliana, you know the effects of the spell, right? This is the first step to them spreading across the city and then plunging deep to pull up whatever power is going to destroy the city.
No, leave it alone for now.
Wait, we heard her. Yeah, sure. I'm going to try something that so far Aliana has never done. She's going to draw her bow.
Oh, that's kind of amazing. All right. It's like Dusty.
She's had it. It works. She practices occasionally when you guys aren't looking. She's going to take careful aim at the canter.
Atop the pillar.
Atop the pillar.
Okay, so this is a hell of a hard shot, and I want to, like, the pillar's pretty tall. He's right in the middle of the pillar. Like, you've got to maneuver to get sort of a good shot on him. So this is definitely pushing it. What is the range on your bow?
I guess is that what near is? So probably not far enough.
Yeah, I would think that, and I'm going to check this quickly to make absolutely sure I'm not bullshitting, but right now I think he's probably at far range.
Okay.
Unless, and to be clear, like, I think that there are ways for you to get closer without ascending the pillar. You could climb a building, right? Discerning realities would be a great way to figure out the ways you can get in range of him.
Apparently I also have a chain gun that uses stones.
The random crap that the Owlbear Scourge tends to collect. What did that guy have a range?
You never told me what the range was.
All right, I wish I could remember exactly when that came up, but I'm assuming it's a gnomish weapon.
I'm pretty sure it came from the gnomes.
Okay. If it is a gnomish weapon, it is a chain gun. I can't believe it.
That's why you gave it to me, because you knew it was never going to come up again. Boy, were you wrong.
Boy, were you wrong. Stupid chain gun. Hold on, I'm checking one other thing, too. I want to check about your bow. Oh, okay, it's because it's a worn bow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, yeah, in that case, because when I'm looking at most bows, like a fine bow or a hunter's bow, they have far range. I think the issue with the chain gun, it makes sense because it is a ridiculous, insane chain gun. It is a gnomish chain gun. The accuracy on this thing is going to suck balls. So basically, what I'm going to say for that is, it has range. You could reach him with it. The disadvantage is that you're going to roll damage multiple times and take the lowest. Unless you just want to use up all your ammo. Do you know how much ammo you have?
It says it uses stone.
Okay. So, I mean, we can assume that, like, you have 3 uses of ammo in, like, a pouch or something that you've collected in the meantime. Is that cool?
Okay, cool. Works for me.
If you use up all that ammo, it'll work exactly like normal. If you use up less ammo, you're going to have to roll multiple times and take the lowest option.
I will use all 3.
Okay. And thus ensues an absolutely insane scene in which Aliana the Bard...
Say hello to my little friend!
This is insane. Alright, go ahead, Aliana. Roll
so
plus
that's
dex.
a 7.
Excellent. Okay, on the 7 and 9, choose one. You have to move to get to the shot, placing you in danger of the GM's choice. You have to take what you can get, minus 1d6 damage, or you have to take several shots, reducing your ammo by 1. That last one would not be an option because you've already basically taken a shit ton of shots.
Yep. Sure, I'll put myself in danger.
Excellent. Okay.
What is the damage on this thing?
So normally you'd roll your own damage die, right?
Yep.
I think that it's fair because this is a big, scary chain gun. It probably has piercing of like 3, and it does plus 2 damage. I'm sorry, Aliana. I'm so sorry. That was a badass moment. Okay.
It was a little friend. Yes, it's going to be one of those nights.
All right. So you had to move to put yourself in danger, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you're like moving around, and the whole time, Chair is trying to stop you, right? She's trying to hold you back. She's still saying, no, we should just leave. Um, you find a perch where you're also able to slap the gun down and like get a little bit of help holding it up, and you open fire at the top. The stone pellets strike into the pillar, and when they do, they just incinerate. When they hit the pillar, they just immediately like poof, and they're not there anymore. But you watch one of them catch the canter in his shoulder and wing him. His voice like goes up an octave, and like he misses a note, and immediately you can see these lines of tracers. They falter, right? The ones erupting from the pillar. So you've disrupted the spell. It's not over. He can pick it up again, but at the moment, it's like been. The problem, however, is that as you did this, and like this is creating so much noise, this rattling, chattering chain gun. Some of those mercenaries from before come rounding one of the street corners, and you see like the one-eyed, blue-skinned dwarf. You see the Marivor right behind her. Right, they come around along with a couple of other scary-looking guys, and they spot you immediately as you finish firing your chain gun rounds, and they're just going to come straight for you. You can sort of scurry out of the way, but you had to like put yourself into an awkward position to get up here. There's a giant chain gun in front of you. It's kind of awkward to get out quickly. So what are you doing, Aliana?
I am going to throw the chain gun at them and hit a really high note as I do so.
Excellent. So I think throwing the chain gun at them, like metal hurlant, is great. I think that's a good point, though. Throwing the chain gun at them gives you like that opening to metal hurlant at them. That's totally going to be defying danger with, I think it's strength, right? Like this is, can you chuck this big heavy chain gun? Is that fair?
Sure. Hey, I have no strength D bonus. Hey, that's an 8.
Excellent. Okay. So, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's. I think this is a simple and fair one, right? Theoretically, you could have gotten more stones. You could have kept this chain gun, right? It's gonna break if you do this. It's gonna be broken.
Okay.
You have no idea how to repair it, right? It's basically gonna be kaput. Is that fair?
That's fine.
Cool. All right. But so you chuck the chain gun at them. The ones in front, right? They're not expecting that, and it knocks them to the side and gives you the ample opportunity you need to scurry out of that cover. And you want to just metal hurlant at the one in front.
Yep.
So the guy in front, right? He has actually 2 eyes on his forehead, in addition to the 2 eyes where he normally should have eyes. And you see that he actually has an eye in each palm. And he's lifting his hands, and the eyes in each palm are starting to glow a weird green color as he does. So you just unleash your cord at him, right?
Yep.
Hit it.
That's a 6, because I have no con.
No. Can anybody help? Is there any way to help?
Sure.
Well, let's see. So you're throwing the gun at them.
She threw the gun at them. They sort of stumbled, and now she's trying to unleash her metal hurlant, her enormous sound, at one of them to try and like blow his head up. The question is, can you help with the metal hurlant? And it may be that the answer is because it's specifically like one of Aliana's special things. There's no real way to do that.
Yeah, it's when I shout or play a note, so I can't imagine anybody helping me shout or play a note.
There's no real way.
Yeah.
That sort of makes sense. Okay, all right, so you get your experience point, and you unleash like that your note, right? It hurtles at him this force wave that you've seen work so often, and those glowing eyes in his palm. They open up into mouths.
Oh, that's creepy.
And you watch like the force wave of your sound get like swallowed into his hands. And then he opens his mouth, his jaw drops really, really wide. and the same exact force wave hurtles out of it right at you. So, how much damage do you do on a metal hurlant?
1d10.
Okay. So go ahead and take 1d10.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. You suck.
All right. Aliana gets blasted by the force wave. The sound wave gets knocked backwards. Like she's picking herself up really quickly, but that probably rattled you. Shashina, what are you doing? Graves is standing there stock still. Aliana just got knocked backwards. What were you doing as these mercenaries were charging out towards her?
Well, I can only answer that with a question.
Okay.
So with all of these rays of power that are hitting the ground and everything,
Yeah.
how stable does this tower look?
And I actually apologize, I may have this incorrect. This is in my head. I don't quite recall how big it was supposed to be based on last time. In my head, this is like 6 to 7 to 8 feet in diameter.
Mm-hmm.
Is we're talking this pillar, and it looks like it's like solid, weird magic stone. So I'm not saying it's impossible for you to break the shit out of it because you're Shashina, but it certainly doesn't look unstable. It certainly doesn't look cracked or broken or anything. You could also discern realities. Actually, that's really what that should have been instead of me just answering the question. Take note.
Well, I'm going to ignore the fact that the GM just said it's basically impossible. And since I have this magic fucking sword, I want to try and break the tower.
That's very Shashina. Do you have a move for breaking shit?
Well, I have stuff that happens if I get a 12 plus.
On a hack and slash, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so the fighter has a move specifically about breaking shit. You do not have that move.
I can only break physical or mental restraint.
Okay, great. So you are just charging up to the pillar and hacking at it with your sword, right?
Unless I am somehow defying danger.
Shut up. Stupid machine. So what I'm thinking is you're hacking at it, right? And your sword is actually a pretty powerful magical thing at the same time. You're disrupting it. So as your sword crosses those lines coming down along the pillar, they break for a moment and immediately reform. But like you are disrupting it, and you can see you're leaving grooves in the pillar as you go. The problem is this is not going particularly quickly. This thing is pretty sturdy. You can keep hacking the shit out of it. That in and of itself will take a while, but it wouldn't be. There's nothing particularly dangerous about it. Nobody's attacking you. The pillar's not doing anything back at you. That's just a matter of time, really. If you really want to try to do it super quickly, you might have to like really push yourself and strain yourself in a way that even for Shashina, we may not have seen her push herself this far ever before. So I mean, this is the kind of thing where I'm saying to myself, right? Like you're threatening hurting yourself. You're threatening hurting your muscles, right? Tearing something. But that would be you like hacking the shit out of it. That could make it go faster. Alternatively, these guys are still coming down on Aliana, or Graves is standing there with no eyes.
Yes, but I have a focus. I have a thing I said I would do. So although I will take a moment to look around, presumably in vain, for some sort of friendly elephant to help me.
You could discern realities.
You keep trying to. So if I discern realities,
yeah.
What am I getting here?
You'll first of all you can ask questions. So you could ask, for instance, you could ask what should you be on the lookout for. You could ask what here is useful or valuable to you if there's anything in particular that would help you break it more quickly, and you'll get the +1s if you act on those answers. It'll make you much more likely to actually do it.
Fine, I will give in to the GM's devil deal here.
What?
Uh-huh. Whatever. And I will try to discern realities with a +0. And that's an 8.
All right. You get one question? Yes, you get one question. So you can ask, what happened here recently? What is about to happen? What should I be on the lookout for? What here is useful or valuable to me? Who's really in control here? Or what here is not what it appears to be?
I am tempted to go with the not obvious one, but I am playing Shishina. What here is useful or valuable to me?
Mm-hmm. Now that would be... Oh, wait. Oh, god damn it. Okay, that's a little too good. Right, so these mercenaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know from the prior session that they had a whole ton of gunpowder stored in that one house, right? That all went off. One of the mercenaries right here, right now, you recognize, like, you take a look at him quickly. And first of all, to be clear, there's danger here because he's, like, lighting little bombs that he's about to throw at Aliana. But, perhaps more importantly, guy's got little bombs all over him. And, like, those bombs might actually help a great deal in taking this down, especially if you can, like, carve a little hole, because you can cut the pillar, right? So you can carve a little hole, put bombs in there, might help take it down.
All right. This is useful. I need that guy's body. So I am going to go do some serious damage to him.
So that just happens. No dice need to be rolled. No. So I mean, he's like, these mercenaries are coming on Aliana. She's getting to her feet quickly. This guy's about to throw a bomb at her. Shishina, you're charging in, and you're just gonna, like, cut him down. Is that the idea?
I'm going to cut off the hand throwing the bomb.
Excellent. Okay. It's not really a stand in defense. I don't think cutting off a dude's arm is standing in defense.
I am totally defending her from the bomb.
By cutting off his arm.
That's just how I roll.
No.
That is kind of how she rolls.
I think this is simply a hack and slash, and I think it's fine for you. You have a chance to get over right in time before he chucks the bomb at Aliana. I think this is about, like, can you just kill him? And I think actually maybe if he makes an attack, it's not against you, it's against Aliana, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense? Right? Like, if you get a 10+, he doesn't have to make an attack. If he does, it'll hit Aliana.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds great.
Motherfucker, yes, I rolled a 12!
Nice.
12! I got a 19. Oh, no, not a 19.
90.
A 15.
Shishina wins for all time. Excellent. All right, so that's a 12+, right? So you get your crazy shenanigans. What
Let's
happens
see,
on the
which
crazy?
crazy shenanigan do we want? So, when you hack and slash on a 12+, deal your damage and choose something physical your target has, and they lose it.
So, to be explicit, you can say his arm, and that's great. But you could also say the bombs, and then you won't have to do anything else to get them. If you don't say the bombs, right, if you say his arm,
Yeah.
he technically still has the bombs on his body, and that's going to be a whole thing.
Let's not make it a whole thing. Even though I want to make it a whole thing with graphicness, I won't. Oh, that's so sad. That is 2 points of damage.
2 points. Only 2? Doesn't your sword do other crazy shit?
Let's see. Oh, 3 points of damage. It ignores armor,
Got it.
and it's messy.
Of course it's messy. Yeah, so, I mean, you were cutting at his arm. I don't know that it has to cut his arm off, because it's what you chose.
It's
But
hanging by a little bitty
it's a little bit.
flesh, and so it's not off.
I mean, he's swinging it your sword catches him and rakes along the inside of his arm and like down. And so it's like his muscles are falling out, his bits are falling out as he finishes, and his arm just sort of flops at his side, and he lets out a horrible screech. The rest of the mercenaries are immediately like, okay, that one, that's the one that we are paying attention to, the one that just cut out the guy's arm. And what is it? What is it when you take the bombs? Is that just you reach out and like take the bandolier off of his chest? Is that you cut it off him in the same stroke?
I was really planning on using him as some packing material, but I guess I will just cut it off him.
You know, I mean, if you want to say you take his body and you are now holding him under one arm, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I want to flag that, like, I think he's kicking and fighting.
That's
so
fine.
There's, again, still a possibility he'll do stuff. But that's totally fair. All right.
He's probably pretty busy bleeding.
He's bleeding, but he's also not, like, moronic. He's being carted over by the person who just sliced open his arm.
I enjoy his terror. Let us do it that way.
The other mercenaries, and to flag it, right? There's the guy with the mouth, eyes, in his hands. Mouth, eyes. There is the Sleeker. There's the Maravor. There's Bomb Guy. And there's one other guy who looks really rough. He's got a lot of scars. He's wearing animal skins.
So sexy.
Yeah, I think he's probably pretty sexy actually. Like he's pretty ripped and he's not wearing a shirt. Woohoo!
Maybe we should keep that one alive.
Be my guest. So the mouth, eyes, and the guy wearing skins totally are zeroing in on you, Shashina. Sleeker, the blue dwarf, and Maravor, the horse guy with 6 arms, they're actually hanging back for the moment, it seems. They may be doing a little bit of that whole, let's actually see how this goes before we charge in stupidly. We've seen this crazy lady before. Okay. I want to cut from that quickly, so I'm going to come back to Jen. Is things working now? Please make the technologies be working.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Is that a thing? Yay!
Okay, on top of the pillar.
Yes.
Your necklace is super cold as the
Awesome.
energy is flowing underneath your feet, and the book in your hand is glowing and feels really warm right now. So you can tell, I mean, because you have this connection to the book, right? It actually speaks in your mind, doesn't it?
Remember that happening? I let's say yes.
Okay, great. So the book then speaks in your mind, and it starts hissing and saying, like, open me! Just open me up and just read the words. Just read the words and you can make everything better. Just go ahead, read the words and you can just take it into yourself and everything will be better. It'll fix everything. The thing around your throat starts sending you images. It starts showing you images of the city, like, exploding as geysers of lava are erupting from beneath it. And it's showing you,
giving me the impression that that's going to happen if I open the book and start reading.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's giving you the impression that that's going to happen. It's also giving you the impression of, like, then it shows you an image of you with the dark shadow crawling across you, killing the cantor, and then it shows you the city completely not on fire.
Oh, not on fire. Fantastic. What can go wrong?
It is trying to signal to you, let me in, we'll kill the cancer, and everything will be fine.
Oh, yeah, I'm not. I don't want to do any of those things.
Do you want to discern realities, maybe, or?
Yes, I do.
Get it.
Oh goodness gracious! There's no way this goes wrong. That's a 5, although I think my wisdom makes it up. That makes it an 8.
Nice. You get one question.
I get one question. Discern realities. I don't like any of these questions. What should I be on the lookout for?
Okay. So this is sort of, I think, you putting together your feelings and everything else you've heard. I think it's like you connect a lot of the dots, right? Nobody is lying. Nobody is lying about any of this shit. The book and destroying the city will, in some ways, be a good thing for the entire planet. It will also destroy the city and kill everyone in it. The Shadow, wanting you to kill the Cantor, will save the city. That will also be potentially a bad thing for the entire planet. What should you be on the lookout for is both of these forces are going to keep pushing, and one of them has servants here already. You know the Shadow has people, servants, powers already here in this world. It's probably going to pull them in to make its goals happen one way or another. So if you stay out of it, it's going to win. If you pick a side, there's a good chance that side will win. If you fight against it, there's no real telling what's going to happen.
Right.
Is that fair? Is that cool?
I guess. I was sort of hoping for something a little more like right here and now.
What you should be
that
on the
I
lookout
can act
for.
on.
What you should be on the lookout for right here and now is that the Cantor is starting to sing again, and it's going to cause the city to explode if nothing stops that. You are technically still in the city, so that would also cause you to explode.
Makes it right. That makes it super easy for me. I'm going to work to not let that happen. So, hang on. What do I got? I got Basil. I'm gonna do something with Basil.
Basil does something. He dances.
Actually, I want with fold space and suck that Cantor guy right off the top of this thing.
Well, that seems cruel.
But effective.
So that's a thing that I'm going to try and do. Is he within near range of me? I guess that's the thing.
Yes, he is.
Okay. So I can do this with plus wisdom. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. So the fold is unstable. Either only one person can pass through safely, or it's unsafe to use for some reason. Vacuum effect. Anyone close to immediately sucked through the portal and ejected out the other side. The other side of the portal is just off of the tower thing.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Only one person can pass through safely, or the fold isn't safe to use for some reason, but you don't really give a shit.
I mean, if you really want, like, you can easily have it suck Andromeda through too. Okay.
Now that you say that.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, so here's what actually happens. As you are pulling up this portal, like right behind him or to the side of him, and it's going to suck him in, he refocuses, and instead of continuing the song, right, he lets out one note. And when he does, Basil gets pulled in towards him. He pulls Basil through the portal with him. So you watch as he's now hurtling off of the pillar. He's most likely going to go splat on the ground below. Chances are, I mean, it's possible he's got weird, crazy magic powers. There's a good chance he's just going to explode when he hits the ground. That said, he's doing something to Basil. He's actually got his hands around Basil and is holding Basil up to his mouth as he's falling through the air. What are you doing, Andromeda?
Why don't you just take everything I love away from me? You should just do that, Brendan.
I'm sorry, did you not? The name of this game is Take Everything Away World.
Oh. I I think that I'm actually going to step off the tower and go after Basil.
And this is you using your crazy gravity
right.
power, right?
Power, which is I can act as though gravity is in any direction I want. I can use this move to prevent falling damage by defying danger with wisdom. The ideal plan is like hurtle towards the dude, grab Basil, and then move in a direction that won't get me splatted on the ground.
That sounds great. Defy danger with whiz.
Do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Nice. Okay. So you watch this ridiculous scene as a portal opens in the air. The cantor goes hurtling through it, holding a little star, and then Andromeda goes falling to the side, off of the top of the pillar, grabs Basil out of the air, and you know what? We'll just treat it all as one thing, and lands on top of one of the roofs of one of the buildings nearby.
Sweet.
He goes and splatters and explodes as a bloody mess against one of the buildings.
Ew.
Meanwhile, the pillar now it starts to shudder, and those lines of power which were crawling down from the top of it, they begin to expand to wrap around the pillar. Graves, inside your mind, things have been weird. There have been a few moments when like the sun jutted out of view, and it's like you were coming back to yourself, and then it came back in. And right now, it starts saying to you, "You must choose right this second."
No, I don't.
The natural order is at stake. We need the two avatars to meet. We need the battle to be waged, and we need order to be restored. If you do not choose right this second, then we go to the other one.
Very well, but only if you denounce your claim on him.
Oh, nice. Sure, that's a parlay.
I don't know. I have to roll things. I don't want to roll the things. I take it all back.
You absolutely have what they want.
Roll the dices. That's a 10.
Yay!
Okay, so it says, "Very well. Your price is acceptable to us. We hereby cut that one off from the flame." And then it comes into you.
Oh, sorry, Jarvine.
I feel like that would actually be more of a miss, right? That's a hard move. But they renounce their claim. It's what they're saying. They're not very politic. You come back to yourself. The rest of you catch this image of Graves beginning to glow, and flames start leaping up from her body. Her armor starts to turn red hot around her, and her eyes are just this glowing white incandescence. So, here's the thing, Graves. You're still in the pilot seat, but you are currently the incarnation of fire. Here's the thing. The way this works is there's fire and there's star. They're supposed to thwack each other. They wage their war, and after they have this conflict, everything goes back to normal. Everything's restored. Not having that conflict, not having that fight between fire and star, right, throws everything out of whack, and also means that you're going to be full of enormous fiery power, and that shit's going to burn you the hell out, right? You've got to find a way to vent it if you're not going to do it. Also, this thing is inside your brain. It's going to push you to find a way to actually cause this fight. Okay?
Okay.
The bottom line here, and this is like you touching the light of a cosmic god mind as this is coming to you, right? The bottom line here is that this is necessary because order's been disrupted by all these goddamn portals that have been opening up and the shadow creature pouring through, right?
Mm-hmm.
This will reset that board. It will actually strengthen those barriers. It'll also destroy the fuck out of the city. You'll live. The avatars will be safe, but the city will blow up. There's no way the fight between the two does not ruin everything, right? Even without the pillar to actually destroy the city, they're going to be tossing tremendous cosmic forces at each other. But at the moment, you're aware that there is no avatar of the star. Nobody took that into themselves. So right now, you have no one to fight.
Sad.
So again, what I'm flagging to you is that you have this enormous drive to find an avatar of the star, to create one and fight it. You're still you. You can resist it. Doing that is going to be a lot of defying danger, and this shit's going to start burning if you don't start venting it.
Okay.
Okay?
So how does one create an avatar?
You got to find somebody who can be the avatar of the star and force them to take it into them.
Oh, that seems easy. No idea.
Oh, don't we have this dude that we want to get rid of anyway?
You do! You absolutely do!
And he's from a different star, even!
Oh, wow! That could work great, couldn't it? Huh.
He's purple.
So, Graves, you're now on fire. The stones beneath your feet are melting. What do you do?
Is it in our head that she's on fire?
No, she's literally in real life on fire.
So I think, even though I know the answer to this, but it's still fun to do. So I think the first thing Graves does is, in a very booming voice, demand, "Where is the avatar of the star?"
There you go.
I switch Bomb Dude to the other side of my body and look at her. What?
He's kicking and punching at you, and you're not even noticing.
No. My friend is on fire and suddenly is demanding an avatar. What?
Oh, thank God, somebody else sees the fire too. I was starting to think I was hallucinating.
There's definitely that moment, right, where you are running, Shashina, carrying this guy, and you skid to a halt, and the two of them that are chasing you skid to a halt, and everybody is now just watching Graves burning, and they don't pay me enough for this.
She hasn't done that before, has she?
Not that I've ever seen. Nope.
Uh.
You might want to keep him away from Bomb Dude.
Yeah.
Just suggestion.
I drop him.
Oh, that's it. Oh.
No.
That's one way of keeping him away from the. Ariana looks at Graves. Sweetheart, why are you on fire? And how are you not why are you screaming in incredible pain that you're on fire?
Okay, good. Sorry, my things froze for a second. Sorry.
Nope.
It's okay, you weren't needed. Graves kind of slowly turns to look at Aliana and says, "A battle must be waged, or darkness will consume this entire world."
You want to fight somebody, but you're on fire.
Yes.
That seems like a good plan to me.
Who are we fighting?
The avatar of the star.
To flag it also, Andromeda, you're clearly, you're on top of a roof, but you can absolutely see and hear what's going on, too, especially if you're coming down.
Gonna say, the book is probably talking about this thing that's happening right now, right?
All you have to do is touch the pillar. You don't even have to read me anymore. Just touch the pillar. Just touch the pillar, which, by the way, is glowing ominously like starlight.
Sure. I don't want to touch the pillar. I don't...
That's what she said. Sorry.
And we are done. Thank you, everybody, for watching Chain. No,
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
that was good. Well played.
Awesome. Okay, so what's gonna happen if I touch the pillar, stupid book, whose name I don't know?
I don't remember the name of the book either. Why don't we give it a name just so you can actually refer to it?
Sure.
You want to call it the Astronomicon?
Yes.
All right. So it's the Astronomicon.
Excellent.
So the Astronomicon, bound in the flesh of a dead star, says to you, all you have to do is touch it, and you'll become brilliant and scintillating and glowing. You'll become amazing. You'll feel what it is like to twinkle amongst the endless void. You'll be the very embodiment of light and hope, and you'll be able to restore natural balance.
And that's gonna help with the glowy Eldritch God necklace thing I got going on?
Yeah, and by the way, that is showing you countless horrible images every time you're even considering touching the pillar, right?
Yeah.
In every possible way, trying to signal, no, don't do that, no.
Yeah. I mean, clearly the answer is to do the opposite of what the necklace wants, because the necklace has been trying to open up portals with horrific Eldritch God things. So, yeah, I think I gotta do what I gotta do.
So you are walking towards the pillar.
Or floating, sure.
Floating towards the pillar. All right, so, I mean, to you, Graves, with the fire burning in your skull, right? That's perfect. That's exactly what you're looking for. To you, Graves, the person, that means that she's about to do to herself what you just did to yourself, and the two of you are going to have to duke it out, destroy the city, basically. But, that's fine.
That's totally fine. Yeah, Graves is totally going to step between her and the pillar. I totally picture little, fury footsteps in her wake.
Yeah.
Totally cool. And says, no, you must stay here.
Why?
Because if you take on this responsibility, I will have to kill you, and there will be no one to shield the city from what is about to take place.
Whoa,
Okay.
What? Who?
But if I don't, then what happens?
Find someone else.
It's not exactly like we have an overabundance of people who can do this.
Graves. It's like, what about those people?
The mercenaries are basically backing off, especially now that they've seen the guy who is going to pay them get splattered against a wall. They don't seem as interested. And even the Marivore, right, was ultimately still a mercenary. Also, to flag it, I think that just because I didn't actually make it explicit and just to get it out of the way, while Graves was in her little trance, so was Char. And Char has now just collapsed. He's just on the ground, not moving, unconscious. Okay?
I mean, if the light and the fire are gonna duke it out, we could just take this somewhere else, destroy some other city.
Does it have to be an actual physical battle? Can it be a battle of wits?
She looks confused.
I mean,
Like,
Graves, you know the
I'm
answers
looking
to
at the
these
book.
questions.
Yeah.
You act because it's in you. The answers are no. No, you've got to. This has to be a battle. There have to be sacrifices. There have to be lost lives for the battle to count as a battle. For whatever crazy natural laws are at stake here, it has to be a fight.
How many
With people.
lives?
City.
Fuck. So evacuating the city is right out.
Shashina, you still have a guy with bombs squirming under your arms, and the pillar, while glowing, still you could.
Didn't she drop him?
Oh, you did drop him. That's right.
I did drop him.
He's scurrying to get the hell away.
Well, I will reflexively kick him, but I don't feel that's what you're asking me.
No. If you're going to let him go, right? Unless you want to say Shashina's kick is so mighty it tears him in half.
Oh.
Actually, his movement, that's kind of like a trigger, like I'm a cat, so I'm going to hold on to him.
Oh, okay, you can go and grab him.
Yeah,
Scruff his
just
neck.
grab him by the leg so he can try and crawl
Let me
away
go!
with his
We
arm.
don't want to fight you anymore. We just want to go. I'm not even gonna get paid. Just let me go. Just let me go.
Shut up! I might still need you. I kind of feel like blowing something up.
Not me. He's like trying to put the guts back into his arm.
Okay, so he's busy. I feel I can only make the situation worse.
Yeah, please.
Dude, that's why we're all here.
Part of what I'm flagging is it seems to me like Graves is super intent on like standing in the way of Andromeda. Andromeda's hyper focused on Graves and the pillar. So nobody's really paying attention to Shishina, who's had ample opportunity to do something if you want to like make things worse.
So one dude, the Chantor, where is he exactly?
A bit of him's over there, and a bit of him's
Right.
over there.
So he's. I'm gonna take Bomb Dude, and I would like to throw him at the pillar, and see what happens.
And see what happens.
Maybe he'll become the Avatar, and we can just kill him.
The one thing I would flag.
Oh, flag away, sir. I'm still throwing a man.
You okay? All right, that's fine.
Are you gonna light him first? There's the
Yeah,
important question.
exactly. He had to light little fuses on his little bombs, so they're not like explode when they impact. They're little fuse bombs. But that's fine. You can still chuck it because they're still volatile chemicals. There's still a chance that they'll explode, considering the pillar is glowing with tremendous star energy.
And he might fling right past Graves, and some of those bombs might catch the fuses and.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
I like that.
Go for it.
What am I doing exactly?
So here's the issue.
It's a volley.
I don't actually. Yeah, mark ammo. I don't actually think this is about strength, because you're strong enough to chuck him. Like, there's no real question there. This is about, can you chuck him into the pillar past everybody else successfully?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
My feeling is that might be Dex. This is about aiming correctly. Is that fair?
Although I am aiming a very large object
You
towards
are
a
aiming at a
even
very
bigger
large
object.
That is fair. That's fair.
Just
Okay,
saying.
cool. All right, no, that's legit. Again, I'm not worried about you being strong enough. I feel like that's a done deal. Yeah, so you just chuck him. So in the middle of this super intense conversation, the guy with bombs strapped to him goes hurling through the air, strikes the giant pillar glowing with starlight. You watch the starlight start to seep into him. Like he stumbles back away from it after he strikes it. And you watch little lines of starlight like crawl across his face and his hands and his skin and his ripped open arm. And then you watch him scream and then explode enormously as all the bombs on him go off, but also his body explodes. And the explosion is pretty big. Right, this is no little boom. Graves, you're probably closest to it, but you're embodied with the fire, so whatever. Like you're just like whatever, dude. Unfortunately, the rest of you might be in a little bit of danger as he's exploding pretty big, and there's a lot of concussive force. Kind of feel like this is about getting out of the way. So I'm going to ask for Aliana, Andromeda, and Shishina to please defy danger with Dex. And the final part of this that I will flag, though, is that pillar is badly cracked, damaged, and screwed up by this giant explosion. It is now, like you were looking for teetering cracks before, Shishina. Oh my god. This thing is not actually looking too well, and it's starting to spark and crackle with weird stellar energy being released out of all its cracks and broken shit. Alright, so Andromeda got an 11 on Defy Danger with Dex. Perfect. So is that you just dancing out of the way, or do you like open a rapid portal and teleport out of the way, or what does that actually look like?
No, I think I just decide gravity works a little different for me quickly, and just, yeah.
Okay, excellent. What did you get, Aliana?
I got a big bad 7.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, well, you can get out of the way by quickly rolling, jumping to the side. Problem is, that's gonna be turning your back to the explosion. Your back where is slung your guitar. So it's your choice. If I mean, like, obviously you're not just gonna stand there, but basically, if you turn your back to it, the concussive force is gonna hit the guitar, which is a relatively delicate instrument, for all its like improvements and craziness and stuff. So either that's gonna get damaged, not irreparably, or you're gonna get damaged.
I'll heal. I don't know anybody who could fix my guitar.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. You're gonna get damaged.
This is gonna suck.
Like at the last second, you spin around so that you get hit by it. This big explosion, I think, is a 1d10.
Oof. Roll low, roll low. Oh shit.
What are you at, Shashi? Sorry, Aliana. What are you at?
8.
How many hit points do you have left?
8.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
No, I rolled a 9. And I
Wait,
only
do
have
you
a
have
hit
armor?
point.
Do you have armor?
No, I don't have armor.
Oh.
All right. And so finally, Shashina, what did you get on your Defy Danger with Dex?
I got a 9.
Okay. So for you, right? I think you chucked the guy.
Turn around, put on my sunglasses.
So your hard bargain. You can either look really cool, or you can be safe.
Oh, I'm gonna be cool!
Of course you are. I think that for you, and this is like you leaping to the side, or like leaping out of the way really quickly. Is that how you were getting out of the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, I gotta do it to you too, don't I?
Yeah.
Oh no, of course I'm gonna do it. You're wearing your bone hat and your top hat, right?
Oh, do not hurt Mr. Nibbles. What are you doing, you monster?
Well, that answers that, Hardberg. Yeah, you can either get your top hat blown off of your head and something will happen to Mr. Nibbles, who is invisible, so you won't know.
Little invisible blood.
Or you can purposely huddle yourself, like, to protect the top hat and Mr. Nibbles, but that means it's gonna hit you in the brunt of your back. Like, right. Your call.
I am good, Shashina. I will save my bunny.
Aww.
I must save my bunny.
Save the invisible bunny. Okay. Alright, roll a d10 and take that much damage.
That was a bad D10. That rolled off the table. Okay, 3 points. But like, if I'd lost the bunny, I would never know what happened to him.
That's true.
That would be terrible.
That's the risk. Okay, so as the dust, like tons of dust and stone splinters are flinging everywhere, the explosion was massive. At this point, when like things clear up enough and you're not coughing so much, Graves, obviously you're completely like whatever this entire time, and when things clear up, the pillar, as I said, is very cracked. It clearly is much more unstable and could theoretically be knocked over and destroyed if you so chose. It's also sparking power now, right? Before it was containing the power of the star. It is now sparking with it. It is no longer sending tracers through the ground. Whatever danger was about like causing the volcano to go up. Am I echoing through myself? Can I be echoing through myself? How can I echo through myself? I don't even understand how that's possible. Alright, hold on. Wait, is it me?
What are you talking about, dude? You
All
sound
right,
fine to us.
well, apparently I'm echoing. Mine is such a powerful voice. There we go. Okay. So, Tower Pillar is sort of teetering. No more energy in the city. The city is in and of itself no longer under threat. However, this fight between them is still a threat to the city. The power is still in the pillar. In theory, you can dump it into somebody still, assuming that they're a worthy host, because it appears that unworthy hosts explode. And oh yeah, by the way, Charfiend was right next to the explosion too, right? So no idea where he's at. And let's see. Graves, you're still embodied with the fire. You still would love to have somebody to actually contend with. This fire is, I'm now to flag it, right? This fire is inside of you. You haven't vented it at all. It's starting to hurt. Like it's gonna, in no time at all, it's gonna start to be take damage, hurt if nobody else, if you don't get away to vent it soon. All right, so the rest of you are sort of recovering. Graves, I mean, you're the one who's still on your feet. So what do, Graves?
Okay. So theoretically, if we could find somebody to act as the avatar that I don't mind killing, that would work.
Zephyros!
I know, but he was always nice to me.
Oh, wait. Seriously, Aliana, you are at...
Yeah, you missed that.
We said that before, dude. Oh my god.
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, I had
8
hit
points
points
left,
left.
and she rolled a 9 on damage.
Sorry, I thought you said that after you took the 9 hit points, you were still at 8. I apologize.
No, because I had taken 8 the first time, and then I took 9 more, and
I apologize. I completely misunderstood what you meant. Yeah, let's resolve that, actually. That seems important. Let's see a last breath there.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, dear.
My fate is sealed. I am marked as death zone, and I'll cross into the threshold soon. The GM will tell me when.
So, Aliana, what do the Black Gates of Death look like for your people?
Oh, that concert I never get to go to?
I think that's fair. I kind of like that. So the Black Gates of Death, it literally looks like the opening of like an inn. It's like the door into an inn. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking more like a either a stadium or a concert hall kind of, and the it's not black gates, it's black curtains over a stage, and they're just waiting to open.
Okay. So in other words, you're saying you're sitting. Oh, so it's totally like the Owlbear Scourge's opera house, but as if the opera house was renovated and beautiful and gilded, but all with like silvers
and blacks and whites and very muted. Yeah.
And there on the stage is the black curtains closed, and emerging from between the two black curtains comes a different version of Death, right? This is not the version of Death that you saw the first time, the sort of bureaucrat. She looks the same physically, but this time she has in her hands a harp, a silver harp. And she looks at you and she says, well, you can finally have your concert.
Or?
Well, there is no or.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Can we keep the city from blowing up before that happens?
Well, it's funny you say that. You belong here. You're already as skilled as you're ever going to be in your own world. You're already the height of your art. You don't belong there anymore. You belong here. You belong with me and with mine. And as she says that, right, like the glowing, the curtains open up a little bit, and behind them you can see the glowing, twirling shape of the Shishina star creature dancing in the background. But you can also help make sure things don't end before they're supposed to.
How?
So she strides down off the stage and she comes over to you. And she holds out the silver harp to you.
I accept it.
Restore the world. Put things back in balance. Make the powers that seek to end it go back where they came from.
Is this that fire and star thing that Graves was babbling about?
The fire and star are only the first part of it.
Oh.
The shadow is the greater threat.
Shadow. Okay.
I leave up to you the decisions you must make in order to remedy the situation. If you decide that the city must die for the world to live, then so be it. If you decide that the city must live and you will fight the shadow in some other way, so be it. The choices are yours. But when the situation is resolved, I will call you back here. You'll hear my song, and you will come.
Fair enough.
Until then, as a sign that you're mine, this is the only instrument that will play for you.
Good thing I'm good with strings.
If it breaks, so too do you.
I was afraid you were going to say that. All right.
Yeah, and she steps back away from you. Goes behind the curtain. And you're waking up bleeding, looking super nasty, like you feel awful, Aliana, right? You must some shrapnel of stone must have taken you and like punctured right into your chest, and there's blood soaking your tunic. Except, you know, in your hand is this weirdly pristine silver harp. That's a little weird.
Everybody else can see this, right? Like the harp, it's not just in my head.
I think there's a thing, right, where when the dust settles and everybody's picking themselves up and they look over at you, right, you're clearly the worst off out of everybody who's hit by that explosion. Andromeda's perfectly fine. She just dodged out of the way, right? She gravity pulsed or whatever out of the way. And Shishina just got a little banged up. You are, like, not looking too good. But when the dust clears, you are holding the harp in your hands. No sign of where it came from. You're clearly holding the harp.
Ha. So, she strums it, you know, checks to make sure it's in tune.
It is probably some of the best sound you've heard out of an instrument. It's also undeniably, no matter what you play, even when it's like the most major and happy of chords you can manage, there is this weird note of melancholy that rings through it no matter what.
Okay. I can live with that.
But you're still bleeding.
Yeah.
You're still not looking pretty good. I do want to go back to Graves, and I want to say, you know, to Graves, like, What you doing? Your friends, Aliana is picking herself up very, very slowly compared to Shashina and Andromeda, who are getting back on their feet quickly. You still got the fire in you. What are you doing?
Okay. Well, this is obviously about to go critical. Okay. Sorry. So I think because Andromeda clearly very nimbly got out of the way, turns back to Andromeda and says, "If you are determined to go through with it, you realize I cannot go easy on you."
I mean, I could say the same thing.
Then very well.
Wait, what? What? And I'm like dusting off my top hat. What are you two doing? Why? What?
Just some ancient prophecy battle that might destroy this city. It'll be fine. It'll be good.
It will seal away the darkness.
That's true.
And I will turn to Aliana like, help me. I think she's dying.
I think you're muted, Misha.
That explains a lot. So yeah, like, Shishina, or not Shishina, Eliana's slightly slurring. She's like, wait, Death says it's the shadow. We gotta fight shadow. Stop the shadow, not the fire and the star. That's just prelude or something. No. Ow. But if the city dies, the world lives. But if the city lives, we gotta fight the shadow differently so the world doesn't die. Very important.
You've all gone mad. Was it the explosion? No, because Graves was already on fire. I'm finding this very upsetting that I don't have anyone to hit.
You can hit the shadow.
Show it to me and I will kill it! I will rip out its insides!
I'm kind of like covering over that necklace.
That's a very, you know what?
I would also like to know how to get rid of this shadow.
Sure, why not? Can I discern realities to see if I can find the shadow?
I mean, I think that, well, actually, it's worth checking in. How much do you remember? How much do you know about like the shadow creatures that have come through and Andromeda's necklace, for instance? Do you know that talks to her?
I don't think she's ever told us it talks to her.
Okay. I mean, so clearly the shadow is referring to the kind of shit you've seen pull through before, especially the Shadow Dragon and the crazy evil Assassin's Guild leader who came back imbued with shadow, right? Clearly that is what we're talking about. I think that, yes, if you want to discern realities, to look around you right now, and like you could, for instance, say, what here is not what it appears to be. I think that's totally legit.
Hey, that one, of course, I pass with flying colors. So that's a 12. So I get 3 questions, huh? So what here is not what it appears to be?
Well, probably the closest thing of shadow around you is the thing around her neck, Andromeda's neck, and you know, this has got to be. You died and you came back. You're seeing things a little weirdly. You can see little shadow tendrils wiggling out of the stone at her throat.
What is about to happen?
So, if things keep going exactly as they are, the power is going to dissipate out of the pillar. The power inside of Graves is probably going to burn her. And the city will survive.
And finally, who's really in control here?
Honestly, some combination of you four. I
Oh,
don't
fuck.
like. The problem is, I don't want to say any particular one of you. I feel like the thing is right now, for whatever reason, fate has dumped its course into your hands, and the decisions you make are going to guide it. So the shadow has a presence here, but it's not in control. The star has a presence here. It's not in control. The fire has a presence here, but it's not in control. Your decisions are in control.
Andromeda? What's that thing around your neck?
You remember before we got to Technomica when
No,
I
no,
opened it?
no. It's got, like, thingies coming out of it.
I'm telling you about it.
Oh, okay.
Is this
Yeah.
really important?
Yes.
It's like part of a eldritch horror god evil something. I don't know.
I'm guessing you can't take it off.
Sure can't. Been trying. That's why Zephyros wants to take me back home so he can get the thing off.
Huh. Zephyros is from a star.
And if we seal the darkness away, will that disable the necklace?
That's
If I kill you, will it disable the necklace?
No idea.
let's not kill her again. That would be bad. Trust me.
Well, if she is going to take on the star avatar, it's a very real risk.
Well, maybe we don't let her take on the star avatar, because I think if we put the star and the shadow together, it's a bad idea.
Someone needs to do it.
What happened to the purple dude? The purple dudes can do it, right?
I mean, I'd prefer that he not explode.
Sooner would be
Okay.
better.
Well, okay. So I'm just saying, if she does it, then she's the star, but she's also the shadow, and that just sounds like a bad idea.
Unless I kill the shadow, and then the shadow is dead, and the world is saved.
But I don't know if they combine, if you'll be able to kill it.
Well, that is what you are for.
But I'm not the fire. I don't think I can do that.
Then that is what a Shishina is for.
She's not the fire either. You're the fire.
She's Shishina.
Fair point.
Shashina, you know I've got to ask, what are you doing right now?
Well, now that I have dusted off my hat and gotten it back on top of my helmet, I
Mr. Nibbles
have.
makes a little squeak.
Sorry?
Mr. Nibbles makes a little squeak.
Thank God. I have sat down cross-legged and am staring back and forth as everyone talks.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I already blew up something. I think I can take a moment.
Huh.
So, Graves, that fire in your brain is hurting the crap out of you because it's not being vented. Go ahead and take a d8 of damage, please.
Okay.
And you can, the rest of you watching her, right? There's a thing here where you can start to see Graves' body is like shuddering. The flame has only grown hotter. Around her skin, it's blue. Like she's starting to show some signs of stress.
Damage taken.
Um, so to say this for the audience, I gave the Death Harp a move that allows it to silence magic. I do think that the Death Harp can be used to silence the power in Graves and silence the power in the Pillar. I think that if it does, that is explicitly saying, right, that fight doesn't happen, that order is not restored. This is exactly what you've been warned about. The city won't die, your friends won't die. But that's the opening that the Shadow's looking for. So, and to be clear, like for me as a the higher level, like this isn't a trap. I'm actually just curious what the hell you guys are gonna do.
Now that you say that, it does seem awful lot like a trap.
It's a trap. Oh, so tempting. Oh, sure, why not? I'm already half dead. Aliana stands and, brushes herself off, and the loot that she landed on anyway is broken. Kind of falls off her back, and she's got the harp in her hand, and she walks up to the pillar, and she touches it.
Oh, you're gonna try to take it into yourself?
It said restore the balance.
Oh wow, this couldn't end poorly. So, the question that then is presented to us is Aliana worthy of the star? I think that's an interesting question, don't you? Shit. I think this is absolutely defying danger and mental fortitude the crap out of it, right? This is whiz.
All right. Please don't fail. Please don't fail. Please don't fail.
Oh, God. All right. All right.
So there's this room.
All right. Well, it pains me to even go here, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Aliana, you touch the pillar, glimmering with starlight, and there's a split second where you feel like a jolt of like static passing into you, something electric crossing over to your body. And then suddenly, spreading out from where your fingertips touch the stone, the pillar turns black. And the light vanishes from it. And the thing is, you're a creature of death. And you touched it, and the starlight dies. The pillar starts to crumble as the black spreads across it. And at the same time, Graves inside your head, you hear a screaming noise. And it's the fire screaming inside of you. And you can feel it dwindling. Everybody can watch the fires rising from Graves' skin diminish until finally they're not even there anymore. Andromeda, you watch as Basil grows smaller and smaller. He doesn't go out, but he's diminished and weakened. And you watch as the sky above, the sun, grows dimmer and dimmer as rents of blackness begin to spread across the sky. Hard move, motherfucker! Alright. Yeah. I think maybe we can end there. Is that cool with everybody? Or do you want to... Is that cool?
Where do we go from here?
Is that legit?
Is what I have to say.
Well, we'll find out next time where we go from here.
Wait, who's GMing next time?
That's a really good question.
I'm afraid it's me.
Oh. Next session is the session I have to miss, unfortunately. Just keep that in mind.
So one way or another, it can't be Andrea unless we take off next session, which we can talk about. But regardless, the key is that somebody will take over next session. We had talked also about, I forget, either I'm going to do the last two or I'm going to do the next one and then the final one. I forget exactly what we decided. So we will figure that out for anybody viewing at home. One way or another, we will be back with another episode to find out what happens in the catastrophe as we have entered into the apocalyptic endgame. And yeah, let's do our end of session moves. All right. When you reach the end of the session, choose one of your bonds that you feel is resolved. Ask the player if it is resolved. All right, let's just run down the line. Graves, is there a bond you want to resolve?
No, actually, I think... Oh, wait. Aliana may be tougher than she looks, but I will teach her how to defend herself physically. I've decided she doesn't need that after killing the Starlight.
Yep, with a touch.
With just a touch.
She killed the star and the fire with a touch.
Yeah.
All right. Is that fair, Aliana?
Yeah, totally.
All right, great. So you get an experience point for resolving that bond, and you can rewrite it. Andromeda, do you want to resolve the bond?
No bonds for me to resolve this evening.
Okay. Aliana, do you want to resolve a bond?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. And Shashina, do you want to resolve a bond?
Yeah, I had said there was a strange and fearful power within Graves, and that it was bitchin'. I no longer think it's bitchin'.
I think that's legit. All right. So is that fair for you, Graves?
That's totally fine.
Okay. So Shashina, you can rewrite that bond and you get an experience point for it. All right. Alignments will go in the opposite direction. Shashina, did you fulfill your alignment?
I did. I'm good. I made a sacrifice for someone else whenever I saved my bunny.
Nice. Good. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that's fair. Being good is protecting bunnies. Yeah. Okay. What about your special thing?
Well, I did crush an enemy. I saw them driven before me in that they were in pieces.
Yeah.
And the lamentations of their kinfolk, his brethren in arms seem pretty not cool with shit.
He ran screaming from you. I buy it, so you can take your experience point for that. Aliana, did you fulfill your alignment?
I did not perform my art to aid someone else, so no.
Okay. Andromeda, did you perform your alignment?
I think so. Set up and trigger a crazy chain of events. I'm pretty sure flinging that dude off the top of the tower qualifies as a crazy, because now like Aliana touched the thing and it's all dead. Graves is on fire. Like,
Legit.
this is insane.
And I totally think you get XP for that. And Graves, did you do your alignment?
I did defend those weaker than you, and then promptly changed my mind and decided that drama didn't need to be defended.
Doesn't matter if you changed your mind, so long as you did it at least one time. I buy it.
Sure did.
Get an experience point. And finally, the 3 questions. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Death is varied and not unchanging.
I buy that. So everybody gets an experience point. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
We blew up the canner, dude! Well, he got splattered.
He did get splattered.
Do you guys want to count that? If that's a yes, that's totally fair. That's a yes. Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That's an experience point for everybody. And did we loot a memorable treasure?
Sure did. Well, Misha did.
Counts.
Cool.
Didn't really loot it so much as got
It's a
handed
loot.
it. All right. So that's an experience point. And that is it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, anybody who watches this after the fact. Thank you, anybody who watched this live. As I mentioned at the beginning, this is our 21st episode, and I'm really hoping you're not coming into it late, because you're going to be like, what the hell just happened? Confused as hell. But if you want to go back and watch those other episodes, because you haven't, there is a whole playlist full of them. Highly recommend checking them out. We've had some great people on in the past that will also help set up what craziness was going on right here, right now. And you'll get all the background on these characters and their crazy relationships. With all that said, also, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to Indie Plus. We do lots of other cool shows and exhibition games, GM Spotlights. We're going to do a whole bunch of new stuff moving forward. So please click the button to subscribe, which should be in that corner, I think, if I'm pointing correctly. And the other part is please join the Indie Plus community, too. There are awesome discussions happening there all the time. On G+, our Google Plus community. So please come and check that out. Lots of good stuff going on. And you can talk about the latest episode of Chain World and tell me everything I did wrong. With all that said and out of the way, as always, thank you so much, Andrea, Jen, Misha, Sarah. Thank you all. You're always a pleasure to play with. Thank you for being here. I very much appreciate it. This was insane. And thank you, everybody, for watching again. Have a good night.
Look at how happy he is with himself.